Hello and welcome to my video. Today I will show you how I make my natural look dreadlocks. Here they are. A bit stiff because I have not dipped it in hot water. I haven't finished doing them, but yeah, kind of get the idea. Now I know I was supposed to make this video a long time ago, probably 1 year ago. I'm really sorry for that. I'm now ready to do it. Let me just breathe in to calm the nerves, and here we go. First I will put this aside so that they don't distract me while I'm doing it, so that the video can be clear, instructions can be clear. I use Darling Afro Kinky hair, Afro Kinky by Darling. I'm using color number 1 because I'm going to color my hair black, so I want it to blend in. And it comes in bundles like that. There's a lot of them. I didn't specifically count, but I know there's a lot of them. This is one of the bundles. They come all tied up in that, like a lot of them. And what I basically do is I take this bundle, that one bundle, and I then separate it like that. I try not to do it so hard, despite the fact that I'm a very impatient person and I want, yeah, maybe a bit of ADHD, I don't know. I'm diagnosed, but yeah. Yeah, I like fast results, and I realized with this hair I have to be very gentle because it is brittle. It breaks. If you pull it out the wrong way, it breaks. You have very uneven fibers. And so that is what I get. From this, I will separate that into 2 halves there. And in the 2 halves, I take 1 half and separate it further. So out of one big bundle, I get 4 pieces. And so what I do with one of the pieces is I will fluff it up more just to take out the pattern of it, and then I will take it and I will loop it over my shoelace. This is a shoelace, and I kind of improvised a thingy for to be making my hair because I make a lot of crochet braids too. As I said, I want braids. I'm a very impatient person. I will prefer crochet braids over anything. And so after I do that, I take my jelly comb. For me, an old jelly comb works much better for me. Some people, they prefer metallic. I prefer an old plastic one because it's got the rough edges and stuff and helps me with tangling. Now with the Kinking hair, you start from there to brush it back. It's called back combing. But with this, because it's got all these uneven fibers, you want to do short strokes, like that. If you do long strokes, you end up with a big ball just here. Very hard to achieve length. But with that, I realized I can achieve more length. And when I first started backcombing it, I used to backcomb it like I would do normal straight Kinking hair. And I ended up wasting a lot of hair. And yeah, that was not good because I really wanted to do my hair and I had all these tangled up braids. I was just trying to use other YouTube videos to do it, but yeah. I will backcomb a second one just to be clear on that. Take it, remove the pattern, like pretty much fluff it up, and then loop it, and then start backcombing from there. Be gentle with it because Kinking hair is very brittle, as I said. Not Kinking, sorry, kinky hair. And when I do that, and if I'm rough, and I'm very fast because I like doing like that, but yeah, I've since learned that I will waste a lot of hair doing that, and sometimes I don't achieve what I want to achieve. And so with that, I'll just take the end. It really doesn't matter much, and I just try and fix it up there. And then I will kind of like try and distribute the hair. Let me use this other strand so that I get that out of the way. I will distribute the hair, and mostly I use my sense of touch because I can feel where there's lumps. I can feel where it's uneven, because at the end of it all, you wanna get dreadlocks that are even. You know, the tip can be a bit small, doesn't matter, but you wanna get that even dreadlock. So I just distribute it I make sure to achieve something like that. You know, try to make sure the lengths are all same. So after I distribute the hair and I finally have an even lock all through, just tend to rub it in between my palms, just to kind of form a circular shape. And in achieving this, you see, I don't have so much of the stray hairs. The stray hairs, as I said, are very, very important because that is what you will be using to kind of like crochet it in and make it that tight, you know, so that you're not able to pull it apart, no matter how many times you use. My other tool that I use is this brush. This is a brush for smoothing out concrete. I know, yeah, like, I went to the hardware, I was trying to look for something to kink up the hair. All the brushes were a little bit too smooth. I wanted a little bit of the hair like broken, but evenly. This is not so hard, though this is made up out of wire. So it's quite good. If you go to a hardware store, ask them for the concrete brush to remove the cement on the concrete. This is the best, and I do that. Just a little bit. I don't actually brush it out like that. I just like kink it up a bit. Remember, I've created tangles inside, and now I'm just doing more just to give me hair that I can lock in. And I use that brush. Probably it was like $1. Yeah, probably. And then I will take my crochet. See how small that is? This is a latch and hook crochet. That is the hook, that is the latch. Some people use the normal crochet. I don't. I know this is a bit sharper, but it's kind of like, I prefer that one. It's sharper. It's very painful when it goes into your fingers. My fingers are probably so damaged because I'm either touching hair or water or something. And then I twist my lock of hair, not so much because I don't want to achieve that really twisted look. And then I wrap the hair around a little bit. I'll just zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing. Yep. And so I've got these stray hairs that I created, and I will go in there, see the stray hairs, and I will grab them using the latch and hook and pull them in. And that is the process I do all through the dread. See that? I'll just pull them in, and as I said with making dreadlocks, what you're relying on is the feeling of touch. I just pulled out a little bit more, twist it to my right, because that is what I'm comfortable in, and use that to pull it in. I hope the zoom is good and you can see it. And I repeat that all along the length of the dreadlock. Remember, in there is already tangled hair. So when I do that, I kind of tangle the tangled hair in the tangled hair. That's a tongue twister. Yeah, that's basically what I do. When you're using this crochet, you have to remember that it's very, very sharp. And you have to use your sense of touch. You know, you have to feel it to see if are you making like knots that are very tight, because if you make knots that are very tight, it becomes very stiff. And as you're doing that, you just don't go in one direction like that. You want to go there, you want to go there, you want to go there, you know, and you keep on turning, twisting and turning that so that it's rounded, so that you don't end up, because if I do it just in one direction like that, if I do it in one direction, I end up with just like, it's, I don't know, it just, there are some smooth parts, but if I do it all round, because once I turn it like that and I hold it lightly, as I'm doing that, I release it and it turns back. I do that, I release it, so it goes like that, you know, like clockwork. And so I keep on doing that all along the length of the dreadlock. And by the time I get to the end of doing that, I'll just show you among the completed ones, one that doesn't have such a good tip. That one. Anyway, at the end of it, you'll have dreadlocks that have got that at the end. And I loop that, and I pass this in through there to the end, and then I loop that hair there, pull the latch, and pull that hair in. And then I will crochet that hair, like that. as I'm turning. You realize that when you're going towards the end, you might need to do it that way. So with this, it depends on pretty much how you want your dreadlocks to look. If you want to give them a very smooth look, then you will have to go back. It's a very long process. I'll just use the ones that I've already done. It's a very long process. These ones are not really smooth. I'll just have to nip up the ends of that. I don't really want a smooth look per se, so I will not do all that in, you know. I will not go like this because it makes it really stiff. But remember, this is Afro kinky hair, and Afro kinky hair is by itself is a bit stiff, it's a bit brittle, so these ones will take boiling to get them to be very pliable so that they look like dreads, you know. Right now they're still not dipped, that's why they're that stiff. But I can guarantee you that this doesn't come out unless you actually just take a, you know, something and try and nip it off, you know. As you're making your dreadlocks, you want them round, you want them looking good. That's all I do, and I do this to them like I will show you another video of how I will dip them, for how long I'll leave them in, how I'll knitted them, and how I will install them. So I hope I had my instructions very clear. If there is any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I will try as much as I can to take my time and, you know, answer all the questions. I used just one pack of that, and I'm very sure I will not install all of it. With the previous ones that I had this in my hair, purple ombre, loved it, but yeah, I find that in summer it's too hot, it's heavy. I used the same process, but this was straight Kanekalon hair, and it served me really well, I won't deny that, and it gave it like, it was a nice vibe every time I had my hair tied up. I loved it. I did not fold the ends though because I wanted soft ends, but yeah, they served me well. But for summer I'm going for a shorter look because I will be in the water so much. I've got kids who love the water, and yeah, that's why I'm going for that, and also so that I can wash it frequently. With the other long ones, these ones, I used 3 packs, and I can say it was quite heavy because normally I will put very little hair on my head. I don't like the weight. Some people love the weight, but I want to go for something that I don't really have to wait for, I don't know, 2 hours to dry, though we know that synthetic hair drips out water. Yeah, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. And another thing I realized is the longer you boil the dreadlocks, the longer it's, the softer it gets. And also, sometimes depending on what braid you're using, you have to dip it in vinegar to get the alkaline. They normally coat it with alkaline. If you want to get the alkaline out of it, then wash it in vinegar. You'll get a very strong smell, especially if the hair is colored, specifically the ombre braids. Yeah, sometimes you might react. So I'd advise you to wash it in vinegar, dip it in hot water. Remember, the longer you boil it, the more softer it gets. I will do another video to show you how to boil it and what I do to ensure that they look good and I don't lose length. Because once you dip them in hot water, it's like they crinkle up and you can lose length, but you don't have to lose length. And once I have installed them, I will take photos, and yeah, I really appreciate, and have a good day. Remember, you can always do your hair quite cheap if you want to. Thank you, and bye.